Hello and welcome to Caching Waves. Doing an update on Bitcoin. Now, real quickly on the daily, if you haven't seen this, looking for either an A wave or a wave 1. Still waiting for it to complete a B wave or wave 2 between the 50 and the 618 retracement of this first wave here up. After that A or 1, I believe we're in the middle of a complex correction here. We had a 3-wave W, a expanded flat for X, and are either working on a ABC, a 335, or a WXY, where we have a complex correction going on here. Only difference between the B and the X wave coming down for our C or Y is for our C wave we would expect 5 waves down here after, and for our X wave we would just expect a combination of zigzags or a single zigzag, like so. That's the only difference, but targets are similar. So at the moment, if you watch my last video, I was considering, I believe it was on linear scale. Yep. I was considering the fact that this could dump, but I stayed in the long just in case we're coming up for this higher B wave or X wave. But we've broken through the trend here, the trend channel, which leads me to believe we were on the right path to begin with over the last couple weeks. And our B wave originally was here. We're just extending it out into this area here between the 50 and the 618 of this wave down of our A wave or W wave at retracement level, looking for a pivot from up in this area between 28,485 and 29,268 on linear, 28,291 and 29,83 on log scale. So all that will happen once this pivots up a little bit is we'll have to extend our trend channel here whenever this B wave ends off the pivots, and that just kind of extends us out a little bit in time of where we'd expect to bottom, like so. So we'll adjust that as we go, but as of, I'll just back that up for now. We still want to keep an eye on that, but we are on the outside of the channel now, so it's looking like we're getting this B or X wave to the upside. Now down on the hourly, if you've been paying attention to my videos, you'll know what's going on here. Otherwise, I'll just explain really quickly. Got into this trade down in this area once we made these 5 waves up here, and we've been long ever since. As of now, I've raised my stop into profit here on this last pivot up at 26,377.35 on Binance. You'll have to check it on your exchange if you are in it as well. And a couple things going on here. First, I thought maybe this was an AB, and then we made an ending diagonal with a really small B wave. But the more this is panning out, it's looking like we are going to get that next wave move up between the 50 and the 618. And this is going to become a WXY in itself here, or an ABC in our C wave. First of all, we had our A wave up. We came into our expanded B area we'd expect between the 1.05 and the 1.382. And all that is taking an extension of this A wave and adding those Fibonacci levels to it, 1.05, 1.236, and 1.382. And that'll give you your area where you can expect a higher B wave or a lower B wave in this instance to stay relevant. After that, we were paying attention to this pattern, stayed in our long because the direction appeared to be up. But as of right now, the best way I've been able to count this is this was an A, B, C, taking the pivots of the A wave off this B wave for our C wave. We reached the least amount of extension we needed to be considered complete at the 618 extension. This can be counted in multiple ways. I believe the proper one is something like this, ABC, X, ABC. Or it can also be, but I don't like it as much, triangle I showed you. But this C wave doesn't come that deep. It'd be more of a barrier triangle here, like so. Either way, I believe that's where the B wave pivot is, and that doesn't change too much what we're expecting to happen from here. So I expect us to, this is an ABC. We get a 3-wave correction here for our B, and then we make 5 up for our C after we pivot here. Alternatively, we can get a double zigzag, ABC, X, ABC. Again, targets don't really change to where we're going. We'll just have to pay attention to the wave counts here. But I believe this was our ABC. We're now making a running flat or expanded flat correction, which looks like this. We have 3 waves down. We have a, oh, sorry, excuse me. You can see on Binance, we have 3 waves down. We have an A, B, C here for our B wave, and potentially making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that in a channel before we make our next move to the upside, like so. I'm not going to adjust my stop whatsoever. It's right here at this last pivot. We should correct in this area if we are going to be expecting further upside. And we can also break out of this channel finally if we get those 5 waves, but to the upside. Now, if we do start to come down, and how that would work is if we get a complex correction, this would just be A, B, C, same like we just showed. But what can happen is it can fail. You can get an A, B, C, and this would all become an A wave, and then our C wave like so. So whenever you see a 3-wave pattern completed, consider it as complete, or it could just be an A wave. If that does happen, I'd look for re-entries after I got stopped out between the 38250 and the 618 there. But staying in it with my stop very tight, just in case we take off from here. So as you can see, that's how we can come for further downside. We get a 335, or we finish down here near the 1-to-1 extension of that, and we just go as a running flat. I'm leaning to that way for now. One of the reasons for that is usually we would expect a similar time frame in waves between an A and a C. Sometimes the C takes longer, like 1.618 extension in time. So what I did is I took our extension of our A wave in time only, extended it off our B wave, and that's the one you see here in the 1.618. So I'd expect us to finish somewhere in between there. That's why I think we get that pivot sooner than later. Time is just a guideline, but I always lay those down in the time frames I'd expect a correction to complete. Just an extra added thing to keep in mind when I see something taking too long, to maybe consider another option. So that's what I'm looking for, guys. Looking for us to pivot very soon here. 5 waves. I can't get the extensions yet. Wherever our pivot comes from, that's where this 0 is here. You can see the 1-to-1 there. I'd be targeting the 1-to-1 once we get our pivot in off that B wave there. But it looks like it'll be somewhere on the higher end between the 50 and the 618. This extension is our A wave off our B. We usually land in between the 236 and the 382, or the 1-to-1 if this was just a flat and we collapse from here. But I do think we go higher. And that's why we have our stops so close in case we do fail. But as of right now, that's what I'm looking for. Looking for us to pivot soon. And come up to this area here between 24,485 and 29,628 before further downside. All right, guys, I'm just doing Bitcoin today. You can check out my other videos if you like. I have longs in HBAR, ADA, And also, what was my other one? H-bar, ADA, and Rune. I'm still all long in. If you want to check out those videos, not too much has changed. Similar setups to this, just a lot of chop. Still expecting more upside and one more leg, but just doing Bitcoin for today. If you want to follow updates, I will update them when something changes significantly, but nothing's really changed. It's just been boring, grindy market. So all the previous videos on those assets still stand. Remember, this isn't financial advice. I just show you with full transparency what I am doing in these setups. Okay, thanks for watching, guys.